Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we are going to be showing you guys how you guys can get double movement in Fortnite. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is that if you guys are brand new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe. We are closing in on 100 subs, and I greatly want to hit that, so make sure you guys go ahead, hit that sub button, turn notifications on. Now, before we go ahead and get into anything, I do want to say that I do have two profiles. I have one that is made by me, and the second one that is made by my friend Lindsay. I will not be giving that profile out due to reasons that it's his profile. I wouldn't want to release anything that is his. So for that reason, I'm going to be giving out my profile. What is the one way that you can actually get double movement? And this is actually going to be the preferred method that I do recommend for a lot of you. And that is to go ahead and try picking up a Wooting One or Wooting Two or Wooting HE keyboard. Now, if anyone is wondering what this keyboard actually does, it actually can give you double movement, no aim assist. Keep that in mind, no aim assist. Now, we'll be showing you guys that in the gameplay later down in the video. Now, one huge W about this keyboard, in my honest opinion, is that these keys are all pressure sensitive and they mimic a thumbstick. That is how you achieve the double movement. Now, these are also optical switches, and you can also adjust the actuation point from 1 to 1.5 and so on. That is awesome. That is great. I personally like this keyboard for a lot of reasons, and that is one of the reasons why. I do highly suggest you guys go ahead and pick up some PPT keycaps over the really bad ABS ones. I have them on here. I don't think you can really tell the difference, to be honest. That's because I made sure that these keycaps are identical to the ABS ones. Yes, I chose really well. I chose some really good keycaps. So yeah, I really do suggest you guys go ahead and pick up some of these bad boys. These PBT ones will take you a long way. They're a lot more grippier, they feel better, and they make the keys a lot tighter. So there's less wobble, unlike these ones where there's like a lot of wobble. Alright, so now we are going to go ahead and get into the profile part of things. So all you guys got to do, if you guys do already have a Wooting, you just go ahead and click on this button right here, the import, and then you guys will go ahead and copy the code that I will have in my description down below that you guys can go ahead and use. Now, of course, I am going to walk you guys through this. So when you guys go ahead and get a Wooting, you have the color options. Now, this is the main stuff. So there's enable digital keys, which is the option we will be using today. There's actuation point, which you can go all the way up to 3.6, which is the slowest, and then also 1.5, which is going to be the fastest. For me personally, I'm going to be the fastest that I can possibly be. Now, there's also these options right here, which is for analog settings, for gamepad override, and also enable Fortnite strafing. Alright, so once you guys go ahead and enable digital keys, which is under the general tab, and put the actuation point at the lowest, all you guys gotta do is go over to gamepad mapping and put WSAD for up, down, left, and right, similar to exactly how mine is. Pretty simple, pretty awesome, self-explanatory. Now, you guys want to go straight over to DKS bindings and then click on W, put in W, but move it up to exactly how mine is. For this, that you wanted to enable double movement at a certain point and not all the way through. Do the same thing for S. You want to do it the same exact way. Now, once you guys go over that, you guys could go ahead here and go on to gamepad response, and then you guys can of course test it. This is in the latest firmware of Wooting. You can go ahead and just test it. As you guys can see, it works perfectly fine, and it's all pressure sensitive like I mentioned before, so that's another huge bonus. So it's trying to mimic the thumbstick as best possible, but once again, like I said, there is no aim assist at all. And the reason for that is because all those micro movements that you're doing with your mouse and keyboard are all getting registered. So when you're building, when you're using your mouse buttons, when you're moving your mouse, when you're doing scroll reset, those are all going to be recognized. You cannot get aim assist at all. And I will be showing you guys that. Now, time to show you guys what you guys got to do in Fortnite. So you got to go to your settings, go to your keyboard, and then make sure your input methods are ignore gamepad input, which is on off, and then lock input method as mouse. So when you do that, essentially, it allows using a controller input and mouse input together, but locks the input feedback to a mouse and keyboard. So now that we are in Fortnite and you guys have done those settings and put it in my profile, as you guys can see, your character will be able to move completely sideways, like so, and he will be able to do things like this. And yeah, I mean, this is definitely a competitive advantage in my honest opinion. But at the same time, it's not bannable, so why not use it? You know what I mean? Alright, so if we go ahead here and switch back over to the regular keyboard, as you guys can see, my character, he's limited. You can't move side to side. It's hard. It's very hard. But the one thing that you do get when you're playing on keyboard is that the character is moving natural throughout the whole entire process. So as you guys see, the character is moving super natural, which allows you to do things like this. So when you go in, well, so when you do things like this, for example, you can do this a lot easier on normal, natural, smooth movement. Now, when you switch over to my profile, it takes some time getting used to, but the character is a lot sharper. So what does that mean is that when your character moves side to side, he loses that momentum. See, I'm clicking A and D at the same time, and my character already lost his momentum. Now, with, like I said before, with normal movement, keyboard movement, or even normal controller movement, your character does not lose that momentum. With this, you do. So if we go in for, let's say, a retake, for example, this would be a lot harder. It takes some time to get used to. I'm already used to it because I've already played on this and I've put so many hours onto it. I'm really good at double movement on keyboard, so yeah. So like I mentioned before, all this is the same, all the editing, everything. It's all 100% keyboard movement. There's no controller at all included. Now, of course, if you do turn off the toggle input method, it will try toggling and fighting between both inputs, but your main input would still be keyboard. And the only reason for that is because all your keybinds, your mouse, all those micro adjustments that you would make with your character are all getting recognized as a keyboard movement, not as a actual, controller. All right, so right now I am on the double movement portion of it, and we have my friend here. So we're gonna be testing this out, trying it out, and I'm gonna show you guys that there is no aim assist at all. A lot of people think that there's aim assist on the Wooting. There is zero. So right now I'm on my movement, as you guys can see. Bam, bam, moving side to side. All right, now we're gonna look at him. There's none at all. Now, if anyone's wondering why my cursor is doing that, it's because of these tiles. All right, I'm pretty sure it does that actually, no matter what. Yeah, it does that no matter what. Okay. So now we'll switch back over to regular keyboard input. Obviously, there is zero. There is none. We'll switch back over. There is none at all. This is me moving side to side, trying to get it locked on. There is nothing. This right here has been a theory that has been going on for a long time. People think that the Wooting gives you aim assist, and the reason for that is because of it giving you the movement of a controller. So the more you move side to side or up and down, it's supposed to automatically connect to the player. Like the cursor is supposed to lock on. No, that is completely false, and the reason for that is actually because of the actual system that it all works. Like I said, all these micro adjustments that you do, no matter what, will always get mimicked as your keyboard and mouse. So me just slightly moving my mouse. So if right now, if I'm aiming at somebody, for example, like I'm in an in-game situation, I'm just doing this, right? And I'm not aiming at all. I'm just using my mouse and I'm keeping it still. Unless, yeah, I was moving standing still. It's still not going to lock on because it still knows that you are recognized to a mouse. So no matter what, once you do this shot, it'll automatically recognize as it being a keyboard and mouse, not as a controller. Now, another thing that I do want to mention with this is the fact that another thing that a lot of people think is that, oh, well, you get aim assist no matter what. So me just normally fighting people, doing all this jazz right here, they all think that I have aim assist. Like, you can't do that because your keyboard is getting recognized as 100% a keyboard and not a controller. That is the whole point of a Wooting. The only point of a Wooting is just to give you the movement of a controller, not the aim assist. No other benefits at all. Now, this being considered a competitive advantage, yes, the Wooting is a competitive advantage because you are getting more of a side viewing. 100%, this is considered a competitive advantage. But I do feel like keyboard and players are so limited on the way they move. I do think that this should be a thing that should just naturally be in the game. Now, of course, that is my opinion on it. A lot of people can, beg to differ. That's why a lot of pros are buying Wootings, because this movement is not just broken, but it's so fun to play with in general. All right, so now I'm actually going to show you guys some gameplay with the Wooting, and yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so yeah, I mean, I showed you guys all the things that you have to do to get your Wooting started, and I also told you guys pretty much about it and how you guys can essentially get the double movement. Now, I also did show you guys that The wooting is 100%. Aim assist is on 0. Like, there is no aim assist at all. So for anybody still wondering or has any questions about the wooting, please drop them down below. I went based off of your guys' feedback. I went based off of all the feedback on all the other videos talking about the wooting. So yeah, for anyone wondering, yes, the wooting can give you double movement, but it will not give you aim assist. And yes, you should subscribe if you guys are brand new to the channel. Yeah, that is it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a thumbs up, a comment, and a subscribe. Of course, if you guys are brand new to the channel. And once again, it's been your boy, Outcast Georgie. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.